Samurai Japan has been on a remarkable run in the 2026 World Baseball Classic, but behind the scenes, the atmosphere inside the team has reached a boiling point. In a shocking turn of events, manager Ibata has made one of the most dramatic decisions in Samurai Japan's history, removing 3 key players from the starting lineup ahead of their critical match against Venezuela. But that is only the beginning. A lifetime ban has been issued, a water bottle was thrown in the locker room, and one of Japan's most beloved sluggers has announced he is walking away. The 9-man batting lineup for the Venezuela match has now been finalized, and Ohtani's batting order change is sending shockwaves through the entire baseball world. If you thought Samurai Japan's road to the championship was going to be straightforward, what happened behind closed doors in the last 48 hours will completely change your mind. To understand what happened, we need to go back to the days leading up to the Venezuela match. Samurai Japan had been winning, but anyone watching closely could see that the team was not performing as a unified unit. The smiles in the press conferences were hiding a deeper frustration that had been quietly growing inside the locker room for several days. Sources close to the team have revealed that the internal atmosphere had become increasingly tense. Players were not communicating with each other the way they normally would. Training sessions had become unusually quiet, and manager Ibata, known for his calm and calculated personality, had reportedly grown visibly frustrated during private team meetings. Those who were present described the mood as one of the most uncomfortable they had ever experienced inside a Samurai Japan camp. The root of the tension, according to insiders, was a combination of underperformance, personal ego conflicts, and a fundamental disagreement about how the team should approach its most important match of the tournament so far. Venezuela is not the Czech Republic. Venezuela is not a team that Samurai Japan can afford to take lightly, and manager Ibata knew that if the team walked onto that field divided, the consequences could be devastating. What happened next was something nobody expected. In an extraordinary move that has sent shockwaves through Japanese baseball, manager Ibata called an emergency team meeting and announced a decision that left players stunned in silence. 3 key players were officially removed from the starting lineup for the Venezuela match. But more shockingly, one player has been issued a lifetime ban from the Samurai Japan national team program. While official confirmation of the exact identity of the banned player is still being processed through formal channels, sources inside the team camp have confirmed that the decision was made following a serious breach of team discipline. Manager Ibata made it absolutely clear in the meeting that no player, regardless of their reputation, their statistics, or their star status, is above the standards and values that Samurai Japan represents. Manager Ibata reportedly told the room, "This team is not built on individuals. This team is built on trust, on discipline, and on sacrifice. Anyone who cannot honor those values has no place wearing this uniform." The room fell completely silent. Players who had been with the national program for years described it as one of the most powerful moments they had ever witnessed inside a Samurai Japan meeting. The message was unmistakable. Manager Ibata was drawing a line, and he was making sure every single person in that room understood exactly where that line was. The removal of 3 key players from the starting lineup, combined with the lifetime ban announcement, immediately changed the dynamic of the entire squad. Some players were visibly shaken. Others sat up straighter. But everyone understood that the stakes had just been raised to an entirely different level. If the lifetime ban was the earthquake, what happened between Munetaka Murakami and Shohei Ohtani was the aftershock that nobody saw coming. According to multiple sources who were present during the incident, a heated exchange took place inside the team facility between Murakami and Ohtani. The argument reportedly began over a disagreement about the team's offensive approach and how individual players were positioning themselves within the batting lineup strategy. What started as a conversation quickly escalated into a full confrontation. At the peak of the argument, Murakami, visibly frustrated and emotional, threw a water bottle in Ohtani's direction. The bottle did not strike Ohtani directly, but the act itself was enough to bring the entire room to a standstill. Teammates who witnessed the incident described the moment as deeply uncomfortable and unlike anything they had seen inside this team. Ohtani, known for his composed and professional demeanor, reportedly remained calm. He did not retaliate verbally or physically. Instead, he turned, looked at Murakami for a long moment, and walked out of the room. What makes this situation even more complex is that Murakami has been one of Samurai Japan's most important offensive weapons. His power at the plate is undeniable, and his presence in the middle of the lineup has historically been a source of enormous strength for the team. But his performance in this tournament has not matched the expectations that come with his reputation, and that pressure appears to have finally reached a breaking point. Manager Ibata was informed of the incident shortly after it occurred. He met privately with both players. The outcome of those individual conversations has not been fully disclosed, but the decision to remove Murakami from the starting lineup for the Venezuela match appears to be directly connected to what took place in that room. Sources indicate that Ibata told Murakami clearly and firmly that his behavior was unacceptable and that representing Japan requires a level of maturity that goes beyond personal frustration. He also reportedly told Murakami that the door back into the lineup remains open, but only if he can demonstrate that he is mentally ready to be a professional teammate again. As if the locker room drama was not enough, Teruaki Sato of the Hanshin Tigers delivered another stunning blow to Samurai Japan when he officially announced his departure from the tournament squad. Sato, who had been showing promising signs of form after recording his first hit and first RBI earlier in the tournament, cited personal reasons for his decision to step away. He released a brief but emotional statement in which he expressed deep gratitude to manager Ibata, his teammates, and the fans who had supported him throughout his career with the national team. "I have given everything I have to this team," Sato said in his statement. "This decision was not easy, but right now, stepping away is the right thing for me and for this team." The announcement shocked many inside the Japanese baseball community. Sato had been considered one of the key middle-of-the-lineup threats for Samurai Japan, and his combination of power and timing had made him a fan favorite. His departure leaves a significant hole in the lineup that manager Ibata must now fill ahead of what is arguably the most important match of the tournament. The timing of the announcement, coming in the same 48-hour window as the lifetime ban and the Murakami Ohtani incident, has led many observers to wonder whether the atmosphere inside the team played a role in Sato's decision. For now, those questions remain unanswered. Despite the chaos surrounding the team, manager Ibata has moved quickly and decisively to stabilize Samurai Japan ahead of the Venezuela match. The 9-man batting lineup has now been officially finalized, and it reflects both the changes forced upon the team and Ibata's bold tactical thinking. Shohei Ohtani will once again lead off. This decision remains unchanged and undisputed. Ohtani's ability to get on base, disrupt opposing pitchers from the very first at-bat, and set the tone for the entire offensive lineup makes him the clear and obvious choice to bat first. Manager Ibata has confirmed that nothing that happened off the field changes his confidence in Ohtani as the team's offensive engine. Seiya Suzuki of the Chicago Cubs will bat second. Suzuki's MLB experience, disciplined eye at the plate, and ability to advance base runners make him the ideal complement to Ohtani at the top of the order. Ibata has repeatedly praised Suzuki's mental composure, and in a week filled with drama, composure is exactly what this lineup needs near the top. Batting third will be Masataka Yoshida of the Boston Red Sox. With Murakami removed from the lineup, Yoshida steps into a more prominent role. Yoshida is one of the most technically gifted hitters in this entire tournament, and manager Ibata believes that batting him third will give Samurai Japan a consistent, reliable presence in a position that demands both patience and productivity. The cleanup spot, the most important position in any batting order, will be filled by Kazuo Okamoto. Ibata made this decision with full awareness of the pressure it places on Okamoto. But he believes that Okamoto's raw power and hunger to prove himself make him the right choice to anchor the heart of this lineup against Venezuela's pitching staff. Batting fifth is Kato Kazono of the Hiroshima Toyo Carp. Kazono's speed and solid contact ability give the lineup a different dimension after the power hitters ahead of him. Ibata views Kazono as a connector, a player who can keep rallies alive and create chaos on the base paths that Venezuela's defense will struggle to handle. At number 6, young NPB standout Makihara Dai of the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks gets his opportunity to shine. Makihara has impressed coaches throughout the tournament with his bat control and situational hitting awareness. Manager Ibata believes this is his moment, and he wants to see whether Makihara can rise to the occasion on the biggest stage. Batting 7th is Sakamoto Saishiro of the Hanshin Tigers. Sakamoto's ability to reach base consistently and restart offensive cycles makes him valuable even deep in the lineup. Ibata trusts Sakamoto to deliver professional at-bats and keep the pressure on Venezuela's pitchers deep into the game. The 8th spot goes to a young NPB player making his tournament debut in the lineup. Manager Ibata has deliberately placed this player here to test their character under pressure and to inject new energy into a lineup that has been carrying significant emotional weight over the past 48 hours. And batting 9th, a position that Ibata views as critical for connecting the bottom of the order back to Ohtani, is a player selected specifically for their ability to get on base and hand the bats back to the top of the lineup. Manager Ibata calls this the reset position, and he wants a player there who understands their role completely and executes it without hesitation. The confirmation that Ohtani will continue batting leadoff has generated enormous discussion among analysts, coaches, and fans worldwide. Many traditional baseball minds argue that a hitter of Ohtani's power and production belongs in the middle of the lineup where he can drive in runs. But manager Ibata sees it differently. By keeping Ohtani at the top, Ibata is sending a message to Venezuela and to the rest of the tournament field: Samurai Japan will come at you from the very first pitch. There will be no easing in, no feeling out period. Ohtani at leadoff means the game is aggressive from the moment it begins, and that aggressive energy is exactly what this team needs after everything it has been through this week. Before closing the team meeting, manager Ibata stood in front of his players one final time and delivered words that those in the room will not forget for a long time. He told them that everything that had happened this week, the ban, the incident, the departure, none of it would define Samurai Japan. What would define this team, he said, is how they respond, how they walk onto that field against Venezuela, how they play for each other when it would be easier to fall apart. The world is watching, Ibata reportedly said. Show them who Samurai Japan really is. The Venezuela match is no longer just a baseball game. It is a test of this team's identity, its resilience, and its will to become something greater than the sum of its individual parts. Thank you for watching. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Do you think Samurai Japan can hold it together against Venezuela? If you want to stay updated on all the latest WBC developments, make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you never miss a thing.